My friends, today I bring you a truth so powerful that once you grasp it, your life can never remain the same. Your time to become a millionaire is not in the distant future. It is here, right now. Wealth does not begin with numbers in your bank account. It begins in the unseen realm of your imagination. Every fortune that has ever existed first lived in the mind of someone who dared to believe in its reality. What you see within is more real than what you see without, for the outer world is only a reflection of the inner. To step into your millionaire destiny, you must assume the feeling of already being wealthy. Walk as if you are a millionaire today. Speak as though riches already flow through your hands. Think not from the position of lack, but from the position of abundance. For the world reshapes itself to match the state you occupy. Guard your inner conversations. Are you whispering to yourself doubts, fears, and reasons why wealth cannot be yours? Or are you declaring silently, I am prosperous, I am blessed, I am a millionaire now? The dialogue within you is the law by which your world operates. Do not wait for evidence to appear before you believe. Faith is seeing with the inner eye. Faith is knowing that though your outer world may not yet reflect it, your inner wealth is already secured. What you persist in believing must eventually harden into fact. And here is the greatest truth. The moment of transformation is always now. Not next year, not someday. Now. If you decide, if you believe, if you persist in the assumption of wealth, then today you step into the timeline where you are already a millionaire. So rise. Speak wealth, imagine wealth, feel wealth. Claim it now, for it is already yours. Your time to become a millionaire is not coming. It has come. The only question left is, will you accept it? Imagination creates reality, and this truth holds the key to unlocking your future wealth. Every fortune, every business empire, every idea that has changed the world began first as a vision in the mind of someone who dared to imagine it fully. The chair you sit on, the device you hold in your hand, the buildings that tower in cities, all of these were once invisible. They were once nothing more than thoughts, vividly imagined and deeply believed. Your imagination is not just a place for idle daydreams. It is the creative workshop of your destiny. When you vividly imagine something and feel it to be real, you have already planted the seed of your future reality. Wealth does not come because of luck or chance. It flows to those who can see it inwardly before they touch it outwardly. The moment you close your eyes and allow yourself to step into the experience of already living the life you desire, you shift your state of being. You are no longer someone who is hoping to be wealthy. You are someone who is living in wealth within. And the outer world, by law, must conform to the state you occupy within yourself. Think of your imagination as the soil of creation. Whatever seed you plant there, combined with emotion and persistence, will grow into visible form. If you plant seeds of lack, fear, and limitation, then lack will grow in your life. But if you plant seeds of abundance, success, and prosperity, if you truly feel them as though they are already yours, then wealth must appear. The imagination, when infused with feeling, becomes more than a picture in your mind. It becomes a living energy that draws circumstances, people, and opportunities to match what you hold inside. This is why daydreaming without feeling rarely produces results. You must go beyond mere thought and enter the realm of experience. It is not enough to think of money. You must feel the joy of holding it, the relief of freedom it brings, the excitement of opportunities it opens. You must imagine with such vivid detail that your mind and body cannot tell the difference between imagination and reality. In that moment, you have shifted into the state of wealth. When you persist in this state, life begins to rearrange itself. Ideas will come, doors will open, and events will align with the image you have been faithfully nurturing. Others may call it coincidence or luck, but you will know it is the harvest of the seeds you planted in imagination. The wealth you desire is already alive in you. It exists now, waiting for you to call it forth through the power of your imagination. Do not wait for proof in the outer world. Begin within. See it, feel it, live it in imagination, and soon it will harden into fact. This is not wishful thinking. It is the law of creation. Whatever you vividly imagine and accept as true will inevitably become your reality. Your millionaire life begins not in your bank account, but in the unseen power of your imagination. To assume the feeling of wealth now is to step into the truth of abundance before your physical eyes confirm it. This is the great secret. You do not wait for evidence to appear in your world before you allow yourself to feel wealthy. You choose to embody the feeling of being a millionaire now. When you live from this state, you call into being the conditions that match it, because the outer world is only a reflection of the inner state you persistently occupy. Most people live their lives waiting for circumstances to change before they change their emotions. They believe that once the money arrives, once the opportunities come, once the bank account grows, then they will feel prosperous, joyful, and free. But this is living backwards. The law of life requires you to first embody the state, and only then will the outer world rearrange itself to mirror your assumption. To assume wealth now is to make the bold decision to walk, talk, think, and feel as though you are already living the life of financial freedom. When you rise in the morning, ask yourself not, "What can I do to become rich?" but rather, "How would I think, act, and feel today if I already were rich?" This single shift opens the door to transformation. Your words become words of confidence instead of fear. Your decisions become bold instead of hesitant, and your presence radiates authority instead of lack. The energy you embody will silently influence people, attract opportunities, and inspire actions that align with the millionaire state you have chosen to assume. The feeling of wealth is not tied to a number in your bank account. It is tied to your sense of security, freedom, and abundance. Even if you have nothing but a single coin in your hand, you can hold it with gratitude and magnify it in imagination until it feels like a fortune. When you dwell in this vibration, you are no longer pleading for wealth, you are declaring it as your present reality. The world, which mirrors your inner state, must eventually reflect this conviction back to you in the form of tangible riches. Persist in this assumption. At first, the outer world may seem unchanged, and doubt may whisper that you are only pretending. But remember, the unseen comes before the seen. Every building begins with a blueprint. Every story begins with an idea, and every fortune begins with an inner state of wealth. Do not abandon your assumption when evidence is slow to arrive. Instead, return to the feeling again and again until it becomes natural. Until you no longer question whether you are wealthy, you simply know it. To assume the feeling of wealth now is to live as though your dream is already fulfilled. This is not fantasy, but creation in action. By dwelling in the state of already being a millionaire, you invite life to align itself with your inner conviction. The riches you seek are already here, waiting for your acceptance. Begin now, live from the state of wealth, and the world will soon show you what you have dared to assume. Your inner conversations are the silent architects of your destiny. Every moment of the day, you are engaged in dialogue with yourself, sometimes conscious, often unconscious. These words, images, and feelings that run through your mind may seem insignificant, but they form the script from which your life unfolds. If you wish to know the state of your world, look closely at the nature of your inner speech, for the outer is nothing but an echo of the inner voice you continually entertain. Think of your mind as a stage and your inner dialogue as the play being rehearsed. The more you rehearse a particular script, the more natural it becomes, and eventually, the world takes on the role of the audience, reflecting the story back to you in visible form. If your inner conversations are filled with doubt, fear, and lack, then life will provide you with circumstances that mirror those assumptions. If, instead, your inner speech is charged with confidence, gratitude, and abundance, then your world will echo those truths. The invisible dialogue becomes the visible fact. Most people allow their inner conversations to run on autopilot. They complain inwardly about what is wrong, argue silently with people in their imagination, or replay past hurts. They do not realize that this constant rehearsal is planting seeds that must grow into experience. The law of life is impartial. It gives back to you what you persistently entertain within. This is why it is so essential to take hold of your inner speech and guide it deliberately toward the life you desire. Imagine yourself as a millionaire and ask, what would my inner voice sound like if I were already wealthy? Would I be worrying about bills? Or would I be planning new investments? Would I be complaining about lack? Or would I be expressing gratitude for opportunities? The key is to shift your inner conversation now, not after the money comes. By speaking within as though you are already in possession of wealth, you train your mind to accept this as natural, and the world must eventually conform. Your inner conversations do more than shape your feelings. They also shape your actions and the responses of others. When you carry the tone of abundance inwardly, you project confidence outwardly, and people respond in kind. Opportunities seem to appear where none existed before, because your energy has changed. The world is simply responding to the script you have been whispering to yourself all along. Take notice of the inner arguments, complaints, or fears that dominate your thoughts. Each one is a seed that, if left unchecked, will bear fruit in your life. Replace them with words of power, gratitude, and conviction. Speak within as the person you desire to be, not as the person you fear you are. Over time, this new script will take root so deeply that it will no longer feel like imagination, but reality itself. The dialogue you carry within is not meaningless chatter. It is the creative force shaping your world. By choosing your inner words wisely, you choose the direction of your life. Guard them, guide them, and fill them with the language of wealth and abundance. Soon, the world will faithfully perform the script you have been rehearsing in the silence of your own mind. Faith is the ability to see beyond sight, to believe in what the physical senses cannot yet confirm. It is the inner certainty that your desire already exists, even when the world around you appears unchanged. To live by faith is to stand firmly in the invisible truth of your wealth until it crystallizes into visible form. Without faith, imagination remains a fleeting picture. With faith, imagination becomes reality. Your riches begin in the unseen. Long before money shows up in your hand, it exists as a conviction in your heart. Faith is what bridges the gap between the invisible and the visible, the unmanifest and the manifest. When you believe in your unseen riches, you are claiming them as yours in advance. You are saying to the world, I already possess this. I live from it now. This bold declaration of trust causes life itself to rearrange to match your belief. The physical senses are limited. They show you only what has already come to pass, never what is on the way. If you base your confidence solely on what you see, you are forever trapped by appearances. But faith frees you. Faith allows you to walk in the assurance of wealth while your senses still report lack. Faith is the inner knowing that your imagination is more powerful than circumstances. It is the refusal to let the outer world dictate the truth of your inner conviction. Consider the farmer who plants a seed. He does not dig it up every day to check if it has sprouted. He knows, with quiet confidence, that unseen processes are at work beneath the soil. In the same way, when you imagine your life as wealthy and assume the feeling of abundance, you must trust the unseen. The evidence may not appear immediately, but faith assures you that the process is underway. What you hold faithfully within must appear without. Many abandon their desires too soon because they mistake delay for denial. They look around, see no change, and conclude it was all imagination. Yet faith is precisely the power to persist when nothing seems to be happening. It is the ability to dwell in the end, to continue believing in unseen riches until they harden into fact. The one who can hold faith steady is the one who sees the promise fulfilled. To cultivate this kind of faith, practice living in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. When doubts arise, return to the vision. When the senses contradict you, remind yourself that sight is only the shadow of a deeper reality. Speak within yourself words of confidence. I already am wealthy. My riches are secure. My abundance is here. As you persist in this conviction, your faith strengthens, and your world bends to reflect it. Faith is not hoping or wishing. It is knowing. It is the certainty that what you have imagined is already yours, even if the world has yet to catch up. To believe in your unseen riches is to live in advance of the evidence. And when you do, the evidence must appear. This is the law: what you believe in the unseen, you will one day hold in your hand. Persistence in the state of wealth is the secret that separates those who dream of riches from those who actually experience them. It is not enough to imagine abundance once or twice and then return to old habits of thought. The outer world may present challenges, delays, or appearances of lack, but if you continually return to the inner state of wealth, you guarantee its eventual manifestation. Persistence is the art of holding on to your inner conviction until the world bends to your assumption. When you first begin to imagine yourself as wealthy, your senses may argue against you. Your bank account may not reflect your new assumption, and the circumstances of your life may seem unchanged. This is the moment when most people give up, saying, "It isn't working." But the truth is that creation always begins invisibly. Just as a seed takes time to sprout beneath the soil, your assumption of wealth takes time to surface as tangible experience. Persistence is the gardener's patience, the willingness to nurture the seed daily, even when nothing appears to be happening. To persist in the state of wealth means to live inwardly as though the wish is already fulfilled, regardless of appearances. When doubts creep in, you gently return to the feeling of abundance. When fear whispers lack, you silence it with inner affirmations of prosperity. It is not about ignoring reality. It is about recognizing that reality is fluid and always conforming to your dominant state. The world cannot resist a mind that refuses to move from its conviction. Persistence is not struggle, it is quiet faithfulness. It is not forcing results, but choosing again and again to occupy the state of abundance. Imagine yourself as a millionaire. See it, feel it, walk in it. Then, when life tempts you to believe otherwise, simply return to that state. Each time you do, you strengthen the assumption until it becomes your natural dwelling place. And once it feels natural, the outer world must follow. Think of persistence as training a habit. At first, the mind may wander to old patterns of lack and limitation. But each time you bring it back to abundance, you are rewiring yourself for wealth. Over time, this state of wealth becomes so natural that you no longer have to try, it simply is. And when it simply is within, it will inevitably be without. The greatest test of persistence is patience. Many expect immediate results, but the universe operates in perfect timing. Your role is not to worry about when or how the riches will appear, but to remain steadfast in the conviction that they already are. The outer world has no choice but to yield to the inner world you persistently occupy. Persistence in the state of wealth is the unwavering decision to stand in abundance until the abundance stands before you. Refuse to be moved by appearances and keep returning to the truth within. In time, the world will bow to your persistence, and the riches you claimed inwardly will manifest outwardly in undeniable form. Now is the time. The greatest illusion that keeps people trapped in lack is the belief that change lies somewhere in the future. They tell themselves, one day I will be rich. One day I will have the life I desire. One day things will finally work out. But that one day never comes, because the only moment that truly exists is this one. The power to transform your life is not waiting for you in tomorrow. It is alive here and now. In this very breath, in this very thought. Every moment is pregnant with infinite possibility. What you choose to assume now determines the shape of your tomorrow. If you continue to dwell in thoughts of delay, postponement, and waiting, you are planting seeds of lack that must repeat themselves. But the moment you declare within yourself, it is done, it is mine, I am wealthy now, you shift realities. You step into a new state of being, and the world cannot help but reorganize itself around that decision. Now is the time, because creation is always happening in the present tense. Your imagination does not create for tomorrow, it creates for now. When you picture yourself wealthy and feel it deeply, you are not preparing for a distant future. You are entering the state of wealth this very instant. The future you long for is nothing more than the unfolding of the state you occupy right now. Many people waste years waiting for conditions to be perfect before they allow themselves to believe. They say, I'll feel wealthy when I get the raise, when I see the money, when opportunities arrive. But this is living backward. Life mirrors your assumptions, not your wishes. You must first feel it within, without evidence, and then the evidence comes. If you continue to wait, you are only pushing the fulfillment of your desire further away. The only doorway to change is this moment. Now is the time to think differently, to speak differently, to walk differently. If you knew with certainty that you were already a millionaire, how would you carry yourself today? What words would you use? What choices would you make? Begin now to live in that manner, and the world will match your inner decision. Do not underestimate the power of a single moment of conviction. One decision, fully accepted and persisted in, can alter the entire course of your life. You do not need to know how the riches will come or when they will appear. You only need to claim them, now in imagination, and refuse to let go of that truth. Now is the time, because tomorrow is only an idea. The life you desire is not waiting for you at some later date. It is waiting for your acceptance here and now. Step boldly into the state of wealth, abundance, and success today. Speak it, feel it, live it. The outer world will follow your lead. This moment is your point of power. This moment is the birth of your millionaire life, and this moment is yours to claim. My friends, you now understand that wealth is not something you chase in the future. It is something you claim in the present. Your imagination is the soil. Your assumptions are the seeds. Your inner conversations are the water. And your persistence is the sunlight. Faith allows you to see the harvest before it appears, and by living in the state of abundance now, you step into the millionaire life that has always been waiting for you. Remember, your time is not coming. It is here. Do not delay. Do not wait for permission, and do not look to the world for validation. Look within, assume your wealth, and live from it boldly. The riches you desire are already yours. Accept them now. Thank you for giving me your time, your attention, and your open heart. May you walk from this moment forward in the full awareness of your abundance. Your time to become a millionaire is here, and it begins with you right now.